Rick's List, CNN weekday afternoons, 3 Eastern.
Why am I upset?
Yeah, I just want to understand.
Okay, I went to Lowe's today, and the cashier was speaking Spanish. I particularly don't enjoy speaking Spanish in my country when our Constitution, our laws are being ignored by a whole group of people.
How many people here are documented?
Oh yeah? You too? Because there are 12 million illegals in this country.
You was legal too before.
You came from England.
Your
My
daddy
ancestors came here
before
here, there was a constitution.
Your daddy was illegal.
Before
the Indians were here before you people came.
there was no government.
The Indians were here before the Americans.
If you go to school and study and
Yeah, that's
don't
what
get
I
into
do.
one of those gangs and you go to college, then I applaud you.
You know scenes like that happen in America. That's part of the national conversation as well. It's also part, at least that one is, part of a documentary on the immigration question set in one American town. This is Prince William County, Virginia. Now, let me give it to you in short. Local blogger begins what turned into an anti-immigrant frenzy. A local politician stirred it up even further. He proposed that there should be probable cause law that forces them to stop and question Hispanic-looking people. The law passes. Well, guess what? The trusted local sheriff says, okay, that's fine by me if you guys want to pass that law, but to enforce your new law, I'm going to need dashboard cameras on all my cruisers to protect my guys, my police officers, from accusations of abusing citizens' rights. Well, the county doesn't have the money to pay for these cameras on the cruisers unless, you guessed it, there's a big tax increase. Well, they don't want to do the tax increase either, so it doesn't happen. But in the meantime, you staying with me here? The unwanted immigrants, not all illegal, by the way, pack up and leave town. Local businesses then start losing money. You've got some abandoned homes, unrented apartments, neglected neighborhoods. It's really a bit of a riveting story. And I'm obviously, look, I'm left with many questions as I watch this documentary and see how this one microcosm, this one town developed. This is director-producer Eric Byler. He's one of the people behind that documentary that I was just talking about. Right. So these people really left town. The immigrants, legal and illegal, both, I imagine, because some of them were just afraid. They felt, what, unwanted?
I think people felt hurt, people felt unwelcome, and there was a bit of an exodus. We saw not only the Latino grocery store close, but also the giant food closed down, and there was definitely an economic impact that we all felt. There
really was a negative impact on the town? I mean, this isn't something that we can just say happened in their neighborhood. It affected the entire community?
Right, and I think it's something that we didn't realize as we were documenting this story. I don't think very many of us realized this, but the immigrants were already integrated into our regional economy. These were actually some of the hardest workers. Many of them had 2 or 3 jobs, and they spent all of their money within the confines of our community. They didn't drive into Washington, D.C. for work every day. And so when we lost them, they gave up homes that they were paying. They were paying their mortgages, but when they gave up those homes, we found ourselves with a foreclosure rate that was 7 times worse than the regional average. So
it's almost a question of be careful what you ask for.
Right.
At least in this town. I don't think we should, make a hasty generalization about all the problems in the country. Because I imagine, you're not here to say, let them all be legal, let them all come over the border, right? You're not saying that, are you?
Well, all I know is that in my community where I live in Prince William County, we paid some heavy tolls, not just economically, but we also suffered in terms of our public safety. We had 15 years of falling crime rates while our immigrant community grew. That trend was reversed the year we had our immigration culture war.
And as a result, well, let's watch this piece of tape first,
okay.
And then I want to ask you what they actually did with the law. Is the law still in the books, or did they repeal it? Don't answer that question. Let's go to the tape.
Okay.
Don't ever forget 9/11 and who was responsible for 9/11 illegal.
We are going to repel this invasion. One way or another, it will be repelled.
And nothing I can do. I got 3 children. I clean sewer pipe. Gonna lose my house. I paid this house for 4 years. I paid almost $40,000 already. This is my heart here. If they deport me, how? I can go all the way to El Salvador. How I can come back?
Is the law still on the books?
No, after 2 months we repealed the law. It was in part because of the economic impacts. It was in part because of the lawsuits. The Bush Justice Department had let us know that we were going to be looked into But also, I think that it was because ordinary citizens, the silent majority, finally realized that this wasn't a white versus Hispanic conflict. This was something that affected us all. So you saw Republicans and Democrats, the religious community, the business community, stay-at-home moms.
And you're, interestingly enough, we're only down because we have so much breaking news. You're starting something called the Coffee Party?
Yes.
Tell me, you got 20 seconds to make your pitch on the Coffee Party.
Okay, in many ways, 9500 Liberty was the prequel to the Coffee Party. We were concerned as we saw a national culture war developing sort of as it's a blueprint that was, tried out in Prince William County, and we saw it happening on the national scale.
Is it a lefty version of the Tea Party?
No, I think what what we've done is we learned the lessons in Prince William County that it really takes a bipartisan coalition to to reinvigorate a democracy that has been hurt by polarizing, really extreme tactics. And you can't just go on the other side and start throwing bricks. That's what's tried in the first half of our movie, and you'll see that. It's only when the coalition in the middle comes together that you can...
Listen, good for you.